Hello, YouTube. This is your girl, straight like that. Giving it to you straight like that. Welcome back to the channel. How's everyone doing? Hopefully everyone is doing good, honey. Staying safe and staying out the way and enjoying yourself while doing it. All right. This reaction video that I'm presenting to y'all today is about a mom out of Cleveland, Ohio. This happened last year in June of 2023. The mom left her 16-month-old baby home alone while she went on a 2-week vacation. Child, when you talk about a tragic situation, I thought this was very tragic. So she just got her sentence this year. I'm trying to figure out why it took so long. Why it took so long for y'all to lock her up and throw away the key. Because she was more than negligent. Sister girl had something going on. Okay? And I want to react to this. And I want y'all to get in the comment section and comment. And let me know if y'all heard about this story. Because it was supposed to be, you know, worldwide. And let me know how y'all feel about this. And do y'all think that justice was served? You think that the sentencing that she got, she deserved that? Or you think she need to get more time? Or do you think she need to get a little less time? I want to know y'all's opinion on this. Okay? So we're going to get into this video. But before I do that, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And let's get into this video. Let's go.
Bitch, I'm back. I'm popular the man.
I did not come to play with you hoes. I came to slay, bitch. I like cornbread and collard greens, bitch. Oh yes, you best to believe it.
Yeah, big.
I love this shit. So let me talk my shit.
Why you want to put people in my business? I said, damn, bitch.
Health versus Crystal Candelario. That's you, Miss Candelario.
And I pray also that one day I can be reunited with Amaya, who is our only hope.
Candelario also addressed the court where she appeared visibly emotional. Through an interpreter, she said she was extremely hurt by everything that happened.
I'm not trying to justify my actions.
Pero nadie sabe cuánto yo estaba sufriendo.
But nobody knew how much I was suffering.
Y por lo que estaba pasando.
And what I was going through.
Todos los días le pido perdón a Dios y a mi hija, Yailin.
Every day I ask forgiveness from God and from my daughter, Jaylene.
Speak English, bitch. You understand what that judge said, so your ass, you know how to speak English. Don't come in here with that bullshit. Don't come in here with that. When your ass was screaming for help and calling 911, and that lady was trying to see what the hell was going on, you was speaking perfect English then. So clear your motherfucking throat and come on with it, sis.
Soy una persona creyente de Dios.
I'm a person who believes in God.
Y reconozco hoy que todos y todas, muchas ocasiones, somos tentados por el enemigo.
And I recognize today that all of us are sometimes subject to the enemy.
Candelario said not a day goes by that she doesn't think of her daughter and says she prays to be reunited with her surviving daughter one day. However, the judge didn't mince words, saying Jaylin died without the protection of her own mother, who chose to have fun over parenthood.
You committed the ultimate act of betrayal, leaving your baby terrified, alone, unprotected, to suffer what I heard was the most gruesome death imaginable, with no food, no water, no protection, and lying in her own feces. Miss Candelaria, you know the responsibility of parenthood. You have a child already. You raised another child. And I've witnessed here before me your parents who showed you love and respect and education. And they came here to help you, to advocate for you, more than what you've done for your own child. The evidence that I've witnessed here before this court shows that this time you simply chose not to be here because you wanted to have fun. You decided you needed a vacation. And what followed was absolute depravity. Instead, I see photos of you on a beach while your child was eating her own feces in an attempt to survive. Photos mean something. And I'm well aware of mental health, but didn't look like you were too concerned about your child.
All I'm going to say to Crystal is, you know you done fucked up now, don't you? You know you done fucked up now, right? You know? You know that, right? Oh, okay. While Crystal over there standing over there up against her lawyer, did y'all see any tears coming down? No, you didn't. This lady had the nerve. She don't want to go to jail because she has another daughter. I don't know how the little girl is, but she has an older child. She wants to be in her daughter's life. She want to raise her daughter. But you take one life, but you want to raise another life. Wow. Girl, they is not finna trust you with a penny. What makes you think they finna trust you in the free world if they was to ever grant you that type of time that you gonna be out there loving up on your daughter? No, ma'am. You want loving up on that 16-month-old? So it's a no for the judge and the whole damn world. Sis, miss us with the bullshit because you done fucked up.
Leaving your baby terrified, alone, unprotected, to suffer what I heard was the most gruesome death imaginable.
For a sentencing hearing. Ms. Candelaria, on February the 22nd.
No estoy tratando de justificar mis actos.
I am not trying to justify my actions.
Look at that cute ass baby. 16-month-olds. Lord have mercy, y'all. Better, if you ain't heard this story, y'all better get ready to brace yourself. They finna break this shit down. Oh my God.
Happening tomorrow, a mom will find out her punishment for leaving her 16-month-old daughter home alone for almost 2 weeks while she went on vacation. Sadly, that baby girl died, and now prosecutors are fighting to make sure she gets justice. See, New Yorker has the story from the Justice Center.
Cuyahoga County Prosecutor Michael O'Malley says this case is, quote, unimaginable, and he's pushing for justice for Jaylin, that 16-month-old baby girl who's no longer with us because of a selfish decision her mother made. This tragic case made headlines all around the world.
Look at that bitch. Look at that bitch. That bitch look evil than a motherfucker in the face. Look at her. Look at her.
Investigators say last June, Cristel Candelario left her 16-month-old daughter, Jaylin, home alone in Cleveland for 10 days while she traveled to Detroit and Puerto Rico. When she returned, she found the baby unresponsive and called 911. When first responders arrived at the home near West 97th and Lorraine Avenue, they found the baby girl dead in her pack and play on a liner soiled with urine and feces. Emergency personnel pronounced her dead at the scene. Candelario, then 31 years old, was arrested and booked into jail on a $1 million bond, charged with aggravated murder and endangering children. For months, she proclaimed her innocence in court, her defense attorney telling 19 News in a sit-down interview that Candelario suffered from mental illness.
See, that's why I don't play with mental illness. I don't play with that at all, because it's very serious. It's a very serious situation. To me, in my opinion, people play with mental health too much for me. You know, like your girl over there, Livy Pooh, and your girl over there, Jasmine, and Wine Glass, and No Effing Chill. Yeah, they play with mental health too much for me. See, because ain't nothing wrong with them bitches. Them bitches just lazy and tired, some tired ass hoes. But please, stop playing with mental illness. That is very serious. And that's the first thing you go to when something happens. Oh, my mental illness. Oh, my anxiety. Oh, my this. Oh, my that. What y'all was doing back in the day when nobody never had a diagnosis of none of this shit. But we been had it for years. But nobody was never diagnosed with these things. But here we go. I went in the store and I stole out the store. When the police catch up with me, I got anxiety and I'm depressed and oh, you do? Then I'm not going to jail. I'm finna go get evaluated for mental health. And then when I get in there, I gotta fake the funk and act like I'm fucking half crazy so I don't fucking go to jail. Miss me with that bullshit. This lady she out of pocket. She out of pocket for even still be here on this motherfucking earth. And that's my opinion. That shit broke my heart when I first heard that. Like, animals leave they puppies behind, and when they, new puppies, but they come back to them. That bitch left her baby for 2 weeks to go to funky ass Detroit and fucking Puerto Rico. This girl, mama and daddy, is still living and in together. So if she left that baby home alone, where was the other little girl? Somebody had to been watching the other little girl. Why she ain't get nobody to watch that baby? Why her parents didn't watch that baby? So you mean to tell me she went out there and had her a funky good time and left that baby in a fucking playpen and piss and shit? And then when she got back home, the little girl had just died. The little girl wasn't dead the whole entire time. She was in that motherfucker suffering. She was in that bitch suffering. And when she got home to the baby, you know what she went and did? Changed her motherfucking clothes. That's a dirty, low-down ass bitch right there. That bitch is dirty and low down. And look at the house she lived in. She lived in a nice house. I forgot what kind of work they said that bitch did. Don't quote me. I don't know if they said the bitch was a teacher. Baby, I don't know who cheering that whole teacher. But Crystal would have to see me in that motherfucking jailhouse. Because, baby, when I get through slanging that ass up under them bunk beds up in that motherfucker and trying to smother that bitch for life with them little thin ass blankets. No, ma'am. That bitch life is unacceptable. Girl, you don't even need to be here. And I mean every fucking word I say. It ain't no allegedly. I'm not apologizing. This some cold-hearted shit. Bitch, you could ask the neighbors to watch that motherfucking baby. You want to go kick it in fucking Detroit. in motherfucking Puerto Rico. Bitch went on a 2-week vacation. Not a 2-day, 2-week.
It can just make people cloud their judgment, make them do things that they normally wouldn't do. And unfortunately, it's caused a lot of problems for her, and now her daughter's not with us anymore. In that depressive mode, I feel like no one's there.
Who the fuck he talking about? Because he sure ain't talking about that bitch. What was she depressed at if she just came up off a 2-week vacation, sir? Get your funny looking ass up out of here. Because, baby, what you talking about ain't making no motherfucking sense. Wasn't nothing wrong with that bitch.
You feel like you can't count on anybody.
19 News cameras rolling then as neighbors told us it was not the first time Candelario left the baby home alone.
You hear that shit? So this bitch was doing this all the time. This was a repeat situation for her. She got away with it. All the other times did nothing happen. Probably because she wasn't gone that long. This time she fucked around and bumped her motherfucking head on something, leaving that goddamn baby that motherfucking long. Baby, let me tell you something. I watch my cousin, baby, for her sometime. Baby, when he with me, he be in the same motherfucking room with me. Okay? All the time. I never leave him by himself. He's 5 months old. He's a baby. But I still don't leave him by himself. I got another little cousin. Got a 3-year-old little girl. I would never leave her ass by herself. Because she curious and she busy. And she want to, explore the house. You want to touch this and touch that. I would never. So her defense lawyer really out here looking real stupid trying to save this bitch. Sitting up there on his ass talking about depression. You feel like you ain't got nobody and all that shit. Oh, baby, I'm not trying to kid. Don't put no cuffs on that bitch. Go on dig up a 6-foot motherfucking hole in the ground and go on throw that bitch on up in that hole and cover that bitch up with cement.
Her mom always wanted to go out and just left her with her grandma.
Last month, Candelario changed her plea to guilty and is scheduled to be sentenced here at the Justice Center on Monday. Count on 19 News to keep you updated on this case, on air and online.
I know that's what they supposed to do by law. They have to have, trials and stuff like that, but bitch went on ahead and pleaded guilty out, almost a whole goddamn year later. She pleaded guilty because she knows she was guilty for doing that. And talking about the grandma watched the baby for her. Okay, what happened this time the grandma didn't watch her? Because, baby, it's some shit I don't understand. I'm telling you, my understanding is zero.
Reporting at the Justice Center, CN New Yorker, 19 News.
And we begin with really a disturbing story and an emotional sentencing in Cuyahoga County Common Pleas Court.
The bond between a mother and a child is one of the most purest and most sacred bonds between human beings.
A judge has sentenced a mother to life in prison without the possibility of parole after she left her baby at home and flew to Puerto Rico. Judge Brendan Sheehan told 32-year-old Crystal Candelario she committed the ultimate act of betrayal.
Candelario pleaded guilty to endangering children and aggravated murder in February, 8 months after the death of her 16-month-old daughter, Jaylene. Prosecutors pointed to doorbell video showing Candelario leaving her home without Jaylene on June 4th. She returns 2 days later and then takes off again that night with a suitcase.
Baby, them cameras do not lie. When I tell you, in this motherfucking day and age, you best believe a motherfucker got a goddamn camera on their motherfucking house, bitch, can see the whole motherfucking block. And I'm glad them motherfucking cameras was on and caught her motherfucking funky ass leaving out that motherfucker. Probably had to put that baby to sleep in every motherfucking thing. She put in that playpen so she wouldn't be hurting herself and getting in the shit. Which it ain't no damn worse. Now, you see that dirty bitch? Now, she did all that. And 2 days later, You leave her there, leaving out with your suitcase, like the coast is clear. Let me get the fuck out of here. Where the fuck is her daddy? Where's her people at? What, you ain't got no friends, bitch? Girl, no ma'am. I wonder how the people feel that went on their vacation with her motherfucking ass, though.
Pictures appear to show her enjoying time in Puerto Rico before heading to Detroit. She doesn't reappear outside her house until June 16th.
Bitch was over there in Puerto Rico, turned up for a motherfucking chick. Might need to bop, 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 all upside her motherfucking dome.
The thought of this child dying every day while she's having fun, humanity can't stomach that. And those are the actions that need to be punished. She abandoned her daughter and left her for dead.
She didn't want this to happen. You could hear that. Screaming, help me, my daughter's dying.
Candelario's attorney said,
this dumbass motherfucking attorney of hers, all he concerned about is what happened when she found the baby. Sir, we don't give a fuck about what she did when she found her. I don't give a fuck if that bitch would have buckled her motherfucking kneecaps. I don't give a damn. Sir, she left a whole human being in a house 2 weeks, a baby to fend for itself. And you want to defend this fucking monster? Get him the fuck up out of here. Oh my goodness. Get his ass up out of here. See, somebody should have been waiting outside the courthouse on that motherfucker right there because, see, motherfucker, the dollar bill is something serious. Bitch, will she get some money to pay a motherfucking lawyer? Well, hell, she did go on vacation. Baby, the money is the root of all evil. Yeah, I wouldn't even want to defend that bitch. She couldn't have came to me with that case. Girl, wait a minute. Hold up. You did what? Oh, hell no. I ain't gonna be able to help you. I would have packed up the whole office. We out of here. We out this bitch. Bitch, I ain't finna help you. You need to rot in that motherfucker. You need to decay up in that motherfucker. Girl, ooh, this done ran me out. I done ran my pressure up in this motherfucker.
Nothing excuses her actions, but he said his client was dealing with depression and anxiety and not getting the treatment she needed. It was also revealed in court that after she found her daughter, Candelario put new clothes on her to try to hide the filth. And then she lied to police. The medical examiner and lead homicide detective on this case described it as the worst case they have investigated.
I bet it was. That shit is sad, man. Then she sitting up there. She not fucking crying. No, she making all them ugly facial expressions. That's what she doing. That bitch ain't crying. She don't want to fucking go to jail. You felt bad. You left her there and she was looking fucked up when you got back. Then you want to change your clothes. You should have been scared to do that. Your motherfucking depression didn't stop you from doing that. Girl, what kind of shit is that? Your depression didn't kick in when you got home and you was changing a deceased baby? What you mean? Girl, it ain't nothing wrong with your motherfucking mental stability. Nothing. You did exactly what you wanted to do. You went and had fun. You had the audacity to take pictures, upload it on your social media. What you thought? She was going to be crying for a bottle when you got back in that motherfucker? What did you think was going to happen? Bitch, you ain't even have a camera in that motherfucker on your baby. Well, you could at least watch her from the phone to see what the fuck she was doing. And I ain't trying to be funny, but I'm just saying. Now you want to sit here and look stupid, you and your dumb ass lawyer. Girl, get the fuck out of here and cry them crocodile tears when you get to the jail cell. When Big Bubba's sister, Big Nancy, and Big Key Lolo don't come up in that motherfucking and beat your motherfucking ass.
And we'll hear from those who spoke on behalf of Jaylene. Coming up in the news at 5, Candelario also spoke, and we'll talk more about what she had to say in court.
An Ohio mother will spend the rest of her life in prison for leaving her toddler home alone for more than a week, where she starved to death while her mom jetted off on vacation. Prosecutors say 32-year-old Crystal Candelario left her 16-month-old daughter Jalen alone and unattended at her home beginning on June 6 of 2023. Candelario didn't return home until...
Some people don't look like what they done been diagnosed with, but she do not look like no bitch that got no situation, no issues going on with no depression, because I feel like she probably was tired of watching her baby. Just felt like she needed her life and she needed us some mommy me time, and she felt like that it was okay, and she didn't think there was nothing wrong with leaving her daughter behind. But y'all will see the rest of this video plays out. You'll hear more stuff about what happened with this story. And I also found out too that that woman's mom lived with her. The mom actually witnessed the abuse that the little girl, she was, doing to the baby. But during this time that she was gone for 2 weeks, the mother and the father had went out the country with the oldest daughter. Her parents had went back to El Salvador. I guess that's where the family is from. And they took the oldest daughter with them and left her there with her 16-month-old. Obviously, may not seem like it was a break to her, but shit, you wasn't left with both of your kids by yourself. You only had to deal with just that one kid. Girl, she is pitiful. But, Miss Hottail over there couldn't wait to go take her ass on a vacation and leave her baby. She wanted to go on a vacation as well.
10 days later on the 16th, and upon returning home, she made the tragic discovery. Her daughter was found unresponsive in what investigators described as a filthy playpen. She had been extremely dehydrated, and the young toddler was pronounced dead at the scene. According to the medical examiner, Jalen's body was extremely emaciated. She weighed less than 14 pounds at the time of her death.
I don't know what a baby weight supposed to be at 16 months. Can someone drop that down in the comment section? Because I don't remember. They should be like at least 20-some pounds or something like that. I can't remember. This baby, the baby was already going through a situation before she even left. Well, let her tell it. Y'all will see in this video that she was already going through something already before she even left. Because, she tried to play it down like as if the little girl had been sick. But she was saying that the little girl hadn't been eating or whatever because she wasn't feeling well. But you knew she was sick or whatever you lied about saying she had going on. But you still decided to pack a goddamn suitcase and buy you a motherfucking plane ticket and get your ass in that car and leave her in that house by her goddamn self to fend for herself. You left her there to suffer. What else was going to come out of that if she was already sick and then you leave her that way? What other outcome you thought was going to happen to this baby? Can you imagine seeing a baby in that state? That is horrible. That is horrible. And I'm telling you, I was just tearing up like crazy. I was getting goosebumps watching and listening to the gruesome shit that they were saying, how that baby looked, man. Ooh, baby. The baby was starved to death and dehydrated. Y'all already know how I feel when you be sick as an adult and you get dehydrated. Just imagine that as a baby. 10 days after not having nothing to drink and no food. Heartbreaking. That poor little baby just suffered. She suffered.
Investigators say Candelario left her daughter alone while she vacationed in Detroit and Puerto Rico. She was arrested and booked a day after returning home and discovering her daughter's body. In February of 2024, Candelario pleaded guilty to charges including aggravated murder and endangering children. During Candelario's sentencing, the prosecution said investigators combed through more than 600 hours of Ring camera footage, which actually showed Candelario left her daughter alone for 2 days before she jetted off on her vacation.
If in fact we would have gone to trial, the evidence was going to show that Crystal Candelario left the state of Ohio on 6/4/2023. She leaves because there is a receipt that's found in her car that she is in Taylor, Michigan. Unbeknownst to Ms. Candelario, her neighbors had Ring doorbell, and the Cleveland Police Department Homicide Unit has gone through 648 hours and videos of the Ring doorbell, which you're going to see in this presentation.
Damn, bitch. Almost 650 hours of footage in 10 days. You know what's surprising to me is that I don't know how close together them houses were. I looked at them, but I don't know what people live next door to. Are they older? They younger? I don't know. Nobody didn't hear the baby crying. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. In these times that we live in, neighbors don't really look out for neighbors no more. That's what the Ring cameras and shit is for. Don't nobody... You leave, I'm watching your house, dog. Nah, They don't do that no more. You know, and some people, when it's some shit be done happen, some people be lying to the police like they cameras went on and all this shit kind of shit. Baby, I done seen it all. Like, baby, I'm gonna keep my shit rolling, okay?
With regards to Ms. Candelaria, she returns to Cuyahoga County on 6/6 at 7:41 a.m. So at this particular point, we have reason to believe that this child was left alone for 2 days now, and she returns on 6/6/2023.
Prosecutors say after returning on June 6 of 2023, Ring camera footage captures Candelario again leaving Cuyahoga County, Ohio, where police cameras later captured her movements in Detroit, Michigan.
Through the search warrants, we were able to retrieve her Spirit airline tickets that showed her departure and her return from Puerto Rico. She was gone from 6/8 to 6/11. And it's interesting, Your Honor, because in the defense memorandum, it says that her abrupt stopping of medications played a significant role in her ability to function as a parent and make sound decisions.
Okay, so what they're trying to say is her stop taking that medication is what provoked her to make those type of decisions to go off and leave the baby. Girl, I am fucking dumb. Make me a damn alien then. Let me be an alien if I feel like if I don't want to take a medication that's supposed to be helping me with an issue that I have, and I want to just up and just cold turkey stop taking it. And no doctor told me not to stop taking it. And now I made a damn decision that affected my whole entire life. My baby gone. I won't see my other child unless they bring her to the jailhouse. Who want that life? Girl, this is crazy.
So when we look at, these are items from her phone, her actions indicate to us that she is in Puerto Rico having a good time with friends, and that there is not a care in the world about the 16-month-old that was left alone in the pack and play. These pictures show somebody who is showing sound discretion and judgment because she's having a good time. Meanwhile, this child is in a pack and play.
Facts, baby. She looked like she was having some big motherfucking fun. And you know what the killing part is, too? What I like, I called this a trial earlier. This is not a trial. This is a sentencing hearing. My bad for that. But the child video was all over the place. Because, you know, once you start looking up stuff and everything started popping up, and I had to put this video together like this, you know. So if it's all over the place, I hope that y'all understand, you know, what actually took place and what happened, you know, that day in front of the judge and all this here stuff. But to look at yourself on that screen, know that you was down there in Puerto Rico, turn it up like a motherfucker. To looking at that motherfucking screen like, I'll never be able to do this shit right here ever again in life. Bitch, whatever you did in Puerto Rico and Detroit, which I think she flew out to Detroit and went from Puerto Rico, flew to Puerto Rico from Detroit. I guess she must have met up with her people, or that's why they was departing at to go to. Girl, I don't know, but girl, you'll never see them days again ever in your life. Whatever you did on that vacation, baby, that was your last. Everything you did on that vacation was your last. If you was hungry when you got home, you didn't get no food, because when you called the motherfucking 911, and then when your ass went to jail, girl, whatever you did, it was your last in the free world, because you would not get a taste of that ever again in life. Sis, you gonna rotten that motherfucker like rotten Easter eggs that we gonna have this weekend for Easter. Okay?
The prosecutor said during Candelario's vacation, Ring camera video captured the sounds of crying from her toddler while she was left unattended.
See, that's what I'm talking about. If the Ring cameras picked that up, why nobody didn't pay attention to that? That's crazy to me.
When she returned on June 16th, prosecutors say upon discovering her daughter dead in the pack and play, Candelario redressed the young toddler before calling 911. Portions of that phone call were played before the judge in court, where Candelario can be heard screaming for help.
Please, I need help. Okay, I can't help you if I don't know where you're at, so tell me the address so we can help you. Okay, is there a single double apartment? Please. What's your name? Crystal. What's your last name, Crystal? Please help me. And what's the number in case you get the What's the disconnected?
The state says despite Candelario's emotional phone call to 911, the next day she went back to Detroit to visit one of the men she had been dating.
I know you fucking lying. That's right. You know what she did? And she called 911. They came out, got the baby. So, this bitch brains, she thought it was okay to go visit another city and state. She went to go visit a man. Y'all, this was all about a man? Girl, you fucking kidding me? Where is this little girl daddy at? Where is he? Girl, no, you did. Bitch, you done been on a 2-week vacation. You gonna fly back again? And your baby done passed? You done been on a 2-week vacation. You gonna come home, find your child deceased. Call 911, do all that hysterical shit that you did that everybody heard. And still went hop your ass on another plane to go see a goddamn man. Girl, I done heard it all. I'm done. I'm done.
During her interview with investigators, Candelario claimed she had been home all week and her daughter hadn't been eating well for the past few days. She said she woke up that morning and found Jalen unresponsive.
So that was just Monday and Tuesday of this week. She was throwing up.
Yes.
And then how was she Wednesday and Thursday?
She was with no food, just with a meal, because she was refusing. Maybe it's because she get vomiting 2 days, before.
Yeah.
So that's why that was scary, because I say, oh my God, maybe go to the hospital because she doesn't eat anything. And she was lose tiny, her weight. I lose, her weight. But right now, in this morning when I wake up, she was asleep. She sleep every day 12 hours.
Okay.
She sleep like at 9 p.m. to 9 or 10 a.m.
Okay.
12 hours. So, in this morning I was sleeping too. I never wake up. She was...
what happened? What was going on last night?
Last night she was crying a lot. And I see one moment when I was take a shower, and she was screaming like, I don't know, probably she getting pain.
Okay.
Maybe.
About what time was that last night?
Maybe at 7 or 8 p.m.
Okay.
So she was screaming like, probably for pain or something like that. In this morning when I wake up, I took her in the morning for, Jaylene, wake up, da, 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 da. And she wake up, and when I see her, I see she looks like a really, really dry, like a, ¿cómo se dice cuando una persona se chupa, o sea, kind of like, yeah.
Oh, like her face was sunken in?
So, yeah. Y ahí fue que yo me asusté y dije,
you maxed out already, bitch. You're a cold-hearted bitch.
Prosecutors say Jaylin died a horrible death, prompting them to bring in the medical examiner, Dr. Elizabeth Mooney, to explain to the judge the terrible and horrendous conditions Jaylin suffered.
Unfortunately, this is one of the most tragic and unfortunate cases I've had in my career thus far. So today I speak on behalf of her and her findings with the course of my examination. We received Jaylin at the medical examiner's office from the scene of her residence, at which time she was clothed in non-soiled clothing, indicating her body had likely been dressed prior to first responders' arrival, as they had mentioned before. So at autopsy, I examined the body of a very emaciated female toddler. At this point, she weighed 13 pounds. Upon review of medical records, this indicated approximately a 7-pound weight loss since her previous doctor's visit less than 2 months prior to that. The eyes were sunken, and she had temporal wasting in her face. In addition to that, the skin showed markedly decreased turgor, meaning when I pinch the skin, it remains in that tented position, indicating severe dehydration. In addition, there was abundant fecal material present, caked on the fingers, the fingernails, the hands, the feet, as well as the soles of the feet. The same material was found on her lips, which were very dry and flaking, as well as in her oral cavity, caked to her teeth.
Dr. Mooney said Jaylin's body fed upon itself, trying to get nutrients. Her kidneys failed, and based on the decomposition and state of her body, she had likely died 2 or 3 days before her mom returned and discovered her body. Jaylin's cause of death was ultimately ruled as starvation and extreme dehydration due to pediatric neglect. The state said none of Jaylin's family called their office to ask about the case. Instead, they were more concerned about Candelario. So law enforcement became the voice for the young toddler.
Oh my God, this is so motherfucking terrible. This is terrible. Oh, this is awful. That baby didn't even have no fucking family. So obviously she didn't have no daddy, or she must have been a one-nighter stander, or she must have had a motherfucking baby with a motherfucking random. Because how the fuck y'all calling to check on this live in a well ass party animal ass bitch? This is absolutely crazy.
Sergeant Teresa Gomez became emotional as she explained Jaylin's young life was cut too short for no apparent reason.
This tragedy should have never happened. I am Sergeant Gomez from the Homicide Unit. The entire Homicide Unit, Cleveland Homicide Initiative, and our partners from the FBI are here today in honor of baby Jaylene Candelario. When we were first notified of this horrific case, we were all heartbroken. But when we started digging deeper into the investigation, it was beyond horrific. Child alone for hours, which led to days, which led to weeks. This 16-month-old baby was left alone in a pack and play to fend for herself for 11 days with no food, maybe milk, the clothing she had on, and the diaper she was wearing. This baby loved her mother, she needed her mother, and her mother betrayed her.
Now, you know that's really awful and sad when them detectives step in and be an advocate for, you know, them children that don't have nobody that stand up for them. And they be so emotional. They be seeing the, you know, all the horrific ass shit that took place, what happened, what they looked like, all kind of stuff. They have to see all these things. That right there, that's a job that I would not want. I would not want a job working in law enforcement and have to deal with things like that. You know, that is really crazy. As that girl chose having a good time in her life, over, being a loving, caring mother to her baby. Because she was a freaking baby. If she would have been 16, 15, I wouldn't be mad at the situation. I have to raise some eyebrows and be like, you wrong for leaving. She's still a child. But at least at 15, they know how to use a phone. They know how to ask for stuff and ask for help. This baby didn't know how to do none of that shit. But cry herself to sleep. Wake up, cry some more. That is awful.
Later, when it came to the defense's turn to speak, Candelario's lawyer, Derek Smith, didn't condone her actions.
Everything that I'm about to get into here today, and my client agrees with me, is no justification for her actions. And what the prosecution said, actions matter, and these actions are narcissistic, selfish, abhorrent, absolutely worst parenting imaginable. She pled to aggravated murder. She pled to child endangering. So everything we're about to tell you is mitigation.
The defense says Candelario was struggling with being a single mother of two.
Fast forward to 2023. It's just overwhelming. She even tried to harm herself. Took 20 Motrin. Ended up in Metro.
I wish he'd get the fuck up out that courtroom, go hide up on there as many big molar rocks as he can. Because, bitch, I can take 40 motherfucking Motrins and be okay. Now, here she tried to harm herself taking 20 Motrins. Motrins, bitch, compared to 10 days of starving and dehydration, it don't compare. Fire this motherfucker. Who gave him his law license? Baby, get him the fuck out of my face.
In early February of 23, after spending just a few days in her room alone, her mother went to check on her, asked her what was going on. Her whole side of her body was numb. Didn't know what was going on. They took her to Hillcrest Hospital. She was admitted there, and they were doing some evaluations for her migraine. She was complaining about headaches and weakness, facial drooping, thought it was possible stroke. They put her on IV Depakote, which is an anti-seizure, also used to treat manic disorder. And at the end of the day, after evaluations, she was clean, nothing wrong with the brain. They gave her oral Depakote and Effexor, 2 antidepressants, and sent her home.
Exactly. My point exactly. Wasn't shit wrong with that motherfucking bitch. Because I feel like if they rushed her to the hospital because they thought her left side was numb, they thought she was having a stroke or whatever the situation was, while her mom and daddy took their ass out the country and left her there with that baby by herself, if they felt like she was something wrong with her. I don't get it. I don't get it. Why y'all defending this clown? Don't try to make it look good, sugar-coated, or none of that for her. She's an evil, twisted-ass motherfucking murderer. At the end of the day, you didn't put your hands on her and unalived her, but bitch, you did enough.
She was not very clear on what those were, but she was taking them supposedly as directed. And then she returned to Hillcrest Hospital again in March. And there was a note from the doctor saying that she should have had plenty of Effexor, but she's saying that she's out and she needs more, and she's coming back with the same problems. So they got her evaluated again, and they were saying that her anxiety and her stress was the trigger for these physical manifestations to what was happening to her, for the loss of sensation in the side of her body, the numbness. And they prescribed her more Depakote, more Effexor, and also Atarax.
Okay, so what you explained to the judge is that the doctors prescribed her medicine, and the way her stress level was set up, that it was sending triggers. Is that what you're trying to say? The medication was triggering. The medication was triggering her stress level. Okay. It still don't add up.
To help her sleep because she wasn't sleeping, and this is in March of 2023. And, you know, take the medications as prescribed. And then medications ran out. She wasn't feeling any better. They weren't working. She stopped. You're not supposed to do that with these drugs, Your Honor. These are very serious mental health drugs. And you need to be tapered off of these medications, or there could be some side effects. Not only the side effects, but the actual underlying conditions that she may have had or been suffering from are also going unmedicated this time.
Smith said the photos of Candelario on the beach didn't show the entire story, adding she was hiding her depression from herself and her family. He said there was no justification for Candelario's actions. She could have called authorities or done things differently.
When you're in that state, when you're off medication, mismanaging your thoughts, you're not thinking clearly. Her body she had to get out, and she was having fun. If she was okay, in her mind, Jaylene was okay.
For the rest of my life, for real. Because you knew.
Of course, that's not the case. But I will point to when she did finally get home, and we heard that 911 call. She didn't want this to happen. You could hear that. Screaming, help me. My daughter's dying. Yes, because of your actions. Because of what your choices were. And you took responsibility for that. But that call, that one tiny breach from whatever was going on in her head, that reality that her daughter was dying, she was calling for help. She didn't want that.
Sir, she was not telling them people that her daughter was dying. Sir, her daughter was already deceased. Make that shit make sense.
The defense called Candelario's mother and father to speak before the judge, and despite the prosecution saying Jaylen's extended family never followed up with the state about the case, Candelario's family, through an interpreter, said they were sorry for not seeing the signs their daughter was struggling on the inside, and they will never forget Jaylen.
Y'all get ready to brace yourself for this bullshit right here. Baby, send they ass back to El Salvador ASAP.
No one ever imagined that this suffering would culminate in a tragedy.
Y hoy aquí quiero decirle a Jaylene
And here I'm.
que eres nuestro ángel, Jaylene.
I want to say here before Jaylene, our angel,
Tu recuerdo vive en nosotros.
that your memory lives within us.
Siempre te amaremos.
We will always love you.
Te acuné en mis brazos.
I held you in my arms.
Tus abuelos nunca te olvidarán.
Your grandparents will never forget you.
Perdóname, bebé.
Forgive me.
Por vivir la oscuridad del conocimiento.
For being in the dark.
It was her mama reading that little letter that she had called herself writing to the judge for some sympathy. And homeboy was trying to keep up with her ass. And she started getting loud first. She was like, what? Girl, get out of here.
The judge said at any point Candelario could have called for help or had someone come over to watch Jaylen, but she chose otherwise.
2 to 8 years and or a $15,000 fine. On count 1, aggravated murder. I'm going to sentence you to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Oh, thank you, Jesus. Won't he do it?
The judge said just as Candelario left Jaylen alone to die, he ordered she face a similar punishment of life in prison.
The only difference will be that prison will at least feed you and give you liquids that you denied her.
Shout out to the judge. Shout out to Law and Crime. This was a good video, tragic incident, tragic story, but it was also a good case. And it didn't get caught up in no trials and shit like that, you know, because she went on ahead and pleaded guilty, you know, to aggravated murder. Bitch, that's what you are. You're a murderer, period. And I'm so glad that she is going to jail for the rest of her life. And the words that judge said, that the only difference is they're going to feed you in jail. But, baby, probably wishing like crazy they can starve her motherfucking ass and don't give her ass no liquor so she can see how it feel to be in a position like her baby was. And see how much your stress and your hunger and your dehydration gonna trigger your motherfucking stress level or whatever the hell you was trying to tell us the kind of diagnosis you had, ma'am. I wasn't buying the diagnosis. It wasn't a goddamn thing wrong with her ass. She fucked up. You know, it's easy to get in trouble, but it's hard to fucking get out of it. You know what I mean? Baby, justice was served, and I'm happy about that, but I'm still sad deep down in the inside because that baby is no longer here. But who knows what kind of treatment she probably was giving her child. We will never know. She's not going to never reveal that stuff because she already in deep doo-doo. And she's, you know, going to be incarcerated for the rest of her life. Child, she might as well kick back, gone on up in there with Big Bubba sister, Nancy and Kiki and Key Lolo and them. Yeah, because, baby, they're going to beat your ass. Baby, you don't get your ass tore up, sis, and you don't look like you got a fight in your motherfucking ass. Okay? Child, that was the end of this reaction video. I know I was all over the place. I talk a lot. I keep stopping the video. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But it was just, irking my spirits just looking at her ass with that braid up on the side of her damn head. Whew. Anywho, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I'm going to see y'all in the next video.
Oh, yes. I like that.